Alrighty, so let's do attendance. Now that I've had you watch the overview of what you're going to do for your last problem set, let's actually kind of do a little warm up. Calisthenics, I'd call it, for the don't panic problem set. Okay. So what you're going to do here is go ahead and set up those files and folders that I talked about in there, right? And then run your reset, creating your new database, right? And then review the database schema. All right, and now you're going to create a new file called w17-q.sql, and in there you're going to end up writing 3 queries. But remember, do this one step at a time. Write the first one, and I'm going to show you my output in a minute. It's like what I showed you in the overview video, but actually show you the code this time. Right, and then you're going to write queries, 3 queries that will, and actually be more than 3 because it'll be the before and after. So actually 3 targeted queries that actually do the updates or do whatever you want. So in this case, and this is what I'm going to also say is don't use any, right? Now you're not going to share this out, which is the important part, but I want you to do just not related to the don't panic, right? Do just this to play around with the data. Okay, so for each query output, output the results as I demonstrated above. Again, I'll show you in a minute so you get that example to POW-W17 text. Okay, and then do your first one that triggers, right? And then do the same. Do the same for query written above, right? So we'll show you that. So you should end up with 3 commits on this, and then I should be able to see the work that you did here. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to move over to my file. So in this case, here's what I showed you inside of the problem set overview, right? So, you know, required. And this is what I'm giving you experience is to get ready for the for the problem set. Okay, so the required action. Now in this case, you can just put, you know, it doesn't have to be required action because required action was specific to the data set. So this will be just my first trigger, my first query to trigger the first, you know, trigger in the database schema. But have the data before, right? So here's what it looked like before. Here's what it looked like. Here's the, you know, where the data was in the user table in this case, and then in the log table. Then you'll have the query complete and then data after. So let me actually show you this file to help you prep for this, right? So these are the normal setups. Oh, actually, this one, could get rid of that one. Okay. So in this case, you know, here's your print statements, whatever. Again, this is specific to the problem set, so come up with context that shows what you are triggering here. Do queries to actually show the data before you actually have your update, right? So whatever that is. So here's my data before, and then here's my query where I'm updating it. And so in this case, right, some more just print statements, and then here's the data after. So this should give you a good idea of when I went over that, what I meant. And it gives you a chance to play with it, right? So this file is that example. So what I should see is 3 in every one of your commits, right? So coming back over here, you'll have a commit. So query 1. Now in this case, I probably just know when I say query 1, I mean all the queries related to your first trigger action, your second trigger action, and your third. Now you're actually you're triggering the action in the trigger, right? So just think about that. And again, play around. You know, you can absolutely, which I would expect to do, is to do that reset, right? So if once I played with my first one, like if I was to actually do it again, now I would see that updated. But let's say on the second one, I didn't, that one, somehow I wanted to reset, I could absolutely go in there and do the reset. And that's part of why I want to get you used to, you know, this workflow of doing changes to it and then doing a reset. Now, you may not have to, in this case, do that, but I think getting used to it is part of what I'm saying. Okay, So that's worth 60 points. Nothing to post. I will look at your commits and I will look at what, did you actually trigger, did you write something that triggered that update? And did you have data before, query, data after? All right, then ask a question that will help you better understand the requirements for this problem set, because this is where you can clarify, like, what do I mean by hard-coded data, right? So again, there should only be one hard-coded value, which is the MD5 hashed password. Should be no other hard-coded. They should be queries that go dynamically at whatever data you're trying to get. And you'll see that in my feedback, by the way, if you do, because I will, if I see hard-coded data besides that password, I will flag that, right? And then, review another student's question and see if you can answer it. That's the best way to do it. The thing I'd like to say here, and I think I've been saying this, but I want to say it as clearly as possible, like, thank you for taking this course. I really have appreciated, like, this is the week before you go out to Thanksgiving, and now it had been my goal to get this out. And I really appreciated the feedback for the AI, and boy, your feedback is going to help make this product better. I'm not sure where we're going with the product that's been created, but I definitely, Brianna, Drick, and I will take all of that into context as we're looking at the next version. So just thank you, because without you, I have no job, and I take my job, right? For week 17, there's no review. You're welcome, okay? And just to be clear, I had posted these in week 15, but I think it's good to put them now. The final deadline to submit late work or use a late pass is Monday, December 8th. Okay, so if you look at the calendar, right, so that's the week. So this item that you're working on, oh, actually, this is not you guys. This is actually, hold on, let me bring it up here. This is actually your schedule, okay? So your technical interview this week of the 18th, right? So your last, oh, I have to get rid of that. Oh, good. Actually, I don't even have a break here on Don't Panic, so I think I'll end up moving. Actually, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that, because actually, now that I think about it, I think I did have a break built into there. If not, I'll go back and look at it, right? So you do have a break, but ultimately, like always, you'll be able to submit it, get feedback. Many of you have told me how much that feedback has helped you, so definitely we'll get that as well. So I'm glad I looked at this so I could fix it. Right, so last day to schedule. So this is an important thing I talked about before. So we're in Thanksgiving. I don't know when you're going to see this, right? So, but to get on the schedule, you need to have done it by the 5th, right? And again, go back and look at that. You can click in here, and there's actually the link to the sessions. They are filling up. I'm noticing that as well. So just know that. And the last date to actually do a technical interview, and if you've done one, good for you. You don't have to worry about this. I hope many of you have done it, but is actually 2 o'clock on the 10th. Okay. I said this before, so I'm just going to reiterate it. Private repos will be deleted Monday the 15th as I prepare. And if you didn't already, your private repos will be deleted along with your public ones, but I'm asking you to actually do it, because it's just good experience to know how to do it if you didn't already do it when I mentioned it before. All right, I hope you find this fun. I think it is. Many students have told me they enjoy this last one, because it is, as I had said in the video, it is as real world as I think it could get. For this class, and I look forward to seeing your output. And thanks for have a wonderful winter break. And that if you happen to be continuing on with other classes with me, I look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, consider taking, maybe a web development, maybe a programming course. I'd love to see you in any of those. All right.